Hey guys, welcome back to today's edition of Advanced Bass Fishing, and appreciate you guys coming by the channel for the video today. Guys, I want to give you all some tips and advice, just have a real nice tutorial on fishing walking topwater baits. These topwater baits, like the Zara Spook, they've been around for, 70 years or so, and it's one of the few lure categories that they catch bass just as good today. A walking topwater, and I'll talk about it in the video today, there's something unique about this bait, the action of it and the way it looks, that bass do not get conditioned to it, and they bite it under the right conditions. Like I said, still as good today as they ever have. So we'll dig into that in today's episode here. Also guys, we're gonna be talking about walking topwaters, and I'll be talking about my favorite one. This is the Megabass Diamanté. Super realistic looking, guys. Megabass, all the attention to detail and the quality construction you'd expect from Megabass. I'll put the Diamanté link and my Tackle Warehouse link in this video description if you guys would like to order one. And also guys, quick reminder, you've heard me talking about this. If you're looking for a new spinning reel or a new bait cast reel, guys, check out Cast King's special they got this month on their ALTI bait cast reel. This thing is almost impossible to backlash. I've been talking about it because of this Halo Vortex braking system it has. It's got an all titanium spool built for stout, super smooth. Use my promo code Randy10 and you'll get it for under $200, which is unbelievable for a reel of that quality. And also guys, if you want a spinning outfit, this is the Cast King Royal Legend spinning outfit. Buttery smooth, guys, great drag system on it, big beefy handle, guys. Love this reel, super nice looking too. Royal Legend, I'll put this link, or excuse me, you can get this in my Cast King link in this video description as well. And you can also use that promo code for that one for the discount, so appreciate that. Really do appreciate you guys putting up with those plugs there. I know it's a pain in the butt, but thank you very much for listening to it. Okay, topwater baits like a spook. Megabass Diamanté, about every manufacturer out there has made a spook copy, and that's what it is. The Zara Spook was a true innovative, ingenious design, and there's been improvements made on it. Say for example, well, let me sort of show you here. I'll show you both. This is the old Zara Spook, and this is one of my favorite colors, the bullfrog, and this is the Megabass Diamanté. Basically the same bait. It's a cigar shaped bait, and they all do the same. They all go side to side. You twitch them just like a jerk bait like that, and based upon the intensity and the length of your snap, sometimes they go a little bit, sometimes they go really wide like that. You can do a lot with them. We'll talk a little bit about that. But ultimately, they have not changed in 70 years, except for just like the attention to detail and the paint jobs on them, which obviously a Diamante looks a lot more realistic than a spook. But nevertheless, they all basically work the same. Okay, let's talk a little bit about conditions when you want to fish this, and I want to talk about some of the ways I like to work them. Now, a Zara Spook or a walking topwater, it's sort of the epitome of topwater lures in the sense that they all perform better under conditions like this. Usually if the water temperature is like over 65 degrees, that's number one. I prefer water temperatures between 65 and 80 degrees. They always usually work better on low light conditions. So topwater baits are gonna work better early and late in the day. When you have shade on the water, they are at their best if it's raining, like a light rain. And they usually work a little bit better if you don't have a lot of wind. Those are top conducive topwater situations along with your water visibility. Now, water visibility can be pretty diverse with it. I've caught bass on topwater lures in water visibility between a foot and 20 foot and everything in between. But here, as far as talking specifically about a walking topwater, if I could lay out a set of conditions and a scenario that it works the best in, here's what it is. Now, it's gonna work on either side of that. You don't have to have exactly this, but here is the perfect scenario. Number one, give me any time like after the bass have pretty much done spawning. Say, a lot of the part of the country, May to November, number one, that time frame is your peak topwater time. And the two best times of the year specifically for a topwater bait, like a walking topwater, is like the month of May, early June, and then again October and November. Those 4 months are the big windows. I don't know what it is, but there's something about a walking topwater that those are the months that I catch most of the bass in. So that's number one. The number two thing, I preferably I want to have water visibility like between say 3 to 6 foot. 3 to 6 foot clarity is perfect for it. Then again, I want a day where you don't have much wind. I want under a 5-mile-an-hour wind usually for it. If the water's clear, say you got real clear water, I caught them in pretty choppy conditions. Like I've caught them in, 20-mile-an-hour winds if the water's real clear because they can see it better. But I want to have 3 to 6 foot of visibility. I want to have a light wind, and I want to have overcast, preferably a heavy overcast with a light rain. That's perfect for it. And water temperatures, like I said, over 65 degrees. That's going to be a perfect scenario for topwater. Now, topwater, like a spook, they work equally well on all 3 species. They work just as good on smallmouth, spotted bass, and largemouth. All 3 species love them. That's what makes a walking topwater like the Diamanté so unique, is when you're talking about specific species, a lot of times a certain lure will appeal to a certain species over another. Not so with a walking topwater. All 3 of them like it exactly the same. Okay, the type of areas that you want to fish it, and then we're going to talk about how to work it. The type of areas you want to fish in are the type of areas where the fish move up shallow, or they can be out deeper, close to the bank. So obviously this encompasses about everything. Rocky banks are great. Just paralleling a rocky bank can be good with it. Points are probably my favorite. Anytime that you can have a main lake or a secondary point, based upon your water clarity, I've caught them right on the bank, and I've caught them over 30 or 40 or even 50 foot of water in real clear water lakes. A topwater, like a walking topwater, is a great lure for covering a large area of a point, because you can get out, say for example, in 15 or 20 foot of water, and you can fan cast in a circle around the whole point. If the water's clear, you might catch one up in 3 foot of water, you might catch one behind the boat in 30 foot of water. It's just a good bait to pull fish up. And that's the cool thing about a spook or a walking topwater, is in clear water, this thing will pull fish up from 20 foot of water. I mean, I have literally at Table Rock and Bull Shoals Lake here in my part of the country, I know that I have pulled these fish up out of 20 or 30 foot of water to hit this in the clear water if it's flat. Because you got to think, say the water visibility is 6 to 10 foot clarity and you've got a calm day, if there's a bass sitting on the bottom in 30 foot of water, it sounds deep, but it's not that far. It's like 30 foot is not very far away from you. So if you're a bass and you're sitting in 30 foot of water and you see this bait going like this across the surface and you think it's a wounded shad, it doesn't take you a second to dart up there and grab the thing out of 30 foot of water. They do that all the time. So it works in a lot of different situations with that. Okay, now I want to specifically talk a little bit about the rod and the technique that you want to use. You want to use a rod that's under 7 foot long. This is the one that I prefer, guys. This is the Megabass 110 Special. It's a 6 foot, 11-inch rod. You can go into my Megabass link in this video description and get it. It's called a 110 Special. Also a jerkbait special. They get 2 different ones. They got a 110 Special and a jerkbait special. They're both the same. They got a medium tip, which is what you want, a medium action tip. Bends fairly soft. 6 foot, 11 inches long. And the importance of a 6 foot, 11-inch long, or a rod just under 7 feet, is if you try to use a spook or a walking topwater with a 7 foot rod, the length of that rod sort of deadens the action of the bait a little bit, because you can't make the quick twitches with it because the rod's so long. But if the rod is 6.5 or 6 foot, 11 inches long, it gives you a lot more better wrist action, that you can just get a lot more responsiveness with a shorter rod. But nevertheless, on a 6 foot, 10-inch rod, you still have the length that you can make a long cast with it. Line too, guys, I use monofilament line all the time, usually 12 to 14 pound test mono. If I'm fishing shorter casts, like targeting like lay down trees or something, I might even put it on 20 pound test. But you want to use mono because mono is a lot more buoyant than fluorocarbon. You don't ever want to use straight fluorocarbon because it'll sink the bait a little bit, and I don't want to use braid at all because I want a little bit of stretch, and that's why I like the mono. And then I'll have the bait cast reel. You want a good high speed reel, like the Cast King reel I talked about, 7 to 1 retrieve ratio, which is perfect for it. Okay, now here is how I work a spook as far as what I like to do with it. First of all, let me give you a little trick here. If you're fishing in clear water. One of the ways I like to do it is cast out there with your spook, and as soon as that spook hits the water, just reel it about 10 cranks real fast. So the bait hits the water and it's just a skittering all over the top like that. So I'll reel it about 10 times like that and I'll just kill it. And I'll let it set completely still until the ripples dissipate. And a lot of times when you reel it across the surface and it's going all over the place, it brings those fish out of deep water to see that thing. And it'll sit there and it won't be moving, and then you twitch it one time and a lot of times they'll come up and hammer it. But the rest of the time, guys, when I'm fishing it, I'm just using the typical spook, just like boom, 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 boom. If the water's clear, I'm speeding it up a little bit like that. If the water's dirtier, say if it's like under 2 foot of visibility, or if I'm casting around like a boat dock or an object, I'll go slower. I'll go boom, 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 boom. Sometimes I'll pause it too. If the water has a little bit of stain, say you're in 2 foot of visibility and you're throwing next to a boat dock or a lay down log, a lot of times I go boom, 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 and then I'll just let it set there still, and then go boom, one time, let it set there still. I'll work it slow, but then again, if it's clear water situation, not much wind, I don't want them to get a good look at it. So the situation like that, I'm working the thing pretty fast. So in other words, the clearer, the warmer the water, the faster you want to work it, and the more stained or the cooler the water, the more you want to slow it down. So anyway, guys, that's just a few tips. I don't get real hung up on colors. I use a ton of different colors. Like I said, if you go in that Tackle Warehouse link into the Diamanté link that I'll put here, they got every color you can imagine. So hope it helps you guys catch some good fish. We'll talk later.